Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the CANcast. We are doing a special episode today on Folsom Rotary. So, I am Justin Hurst. I am your co-host today.
Adam Hadafi. I'm also your co-host today.
I'm Ramesh Danta, the current president of the Rotary Club of Folsom.
And I'm Justin Rathel, the past president of the Rotary Club of Folsom.
Now, if you both could just set the stage a little bit for us, what exactly is Rotary?
So let me start, and then I'll, so I have Justin actually do it. So first, let me talk about the club level, right? So there's a Rotary Club of Folsom. There are 3 clubs in Folsom itself. It's a fairly large population. And and the Rotary also there's Rotary International. So it's got 1.4 million people with some 3,000 plus clubs around the world. So primarily it's a service organization, right? It's meant to do service. And it started, in 1905 or so in Chicago. So, and it's one of the initial purposes for the service was polio eradication, right? That still continues, and then they have spent billions of dollars to eradicate polio, working with the Gates Foundation. But since then, it evolved into an organization that serves multiple purposes. Like, for example, water sanitation is a big deal for Rotary International. And hygiene, right? So women's hygiene is one of the big things for Rotary International. But it could change at the club level, right? So club level works at the community, and for our club, it's more about what is needed in the community of Folsom. And then there are 5 areas that we work in. So one of the things is a local community service itself, like with the parks or whatever, building structures and things like that. And the second one is a youth services, where scholarships, student scholarships in that area. And the third area is a club service, where serving the members of our own club, right? So doing fundraising and those kinds of things. And the fourth area is international service, like participate in this, what Rotary International believes in. And so the fifth one is more, it's more hygiene and it's a health related kind of stuff. So there are multiple verticals, but those are the areas that the clubs raise funds and then donate and then serve the community that they live in.
I would say, what makes our club particularly special to me is that we do a lot of construction and service projects. We help out a lot of other nonprofits in town. Like in Ramesh's year, we've done the greenhouse project at Black Miners Bar to set up full fan with a native plant nursery. And so while they have the skills for the native plant nursery, we have the skills to come in and help them do the construction that's there. And so that's a niche that our local club is able to fill. And we've done that for Parks and Rec. We've done it with Powerhouse Ministries, Twin Lakes Food Bank. We've done it with a lot of nonprofits in town to just help out with that construction project. And then we turn over the service really to them so they can fulfill their mission.
So as I understand it, if you belong to Rotary, you're called a Rotarian. What does it mean for each of you to be a Rotarian?
Okay, so I will talk from my own perspective. So I joined this particular club, Rotary Club of Folsom, in 2015. So I just completed 10 years as of June 1st.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Congratulations.
So
That's awesome.
And at that time when I joined, I was working at Intel Corporation, right? And then I was working at Intel at that time for 17 years or so years. But I was not connected to the community, right? So my life revolved around my friends and family, and then Intel, right? And then at the time I felt like I've been living in Folsom for so long, but I still don't feel like a Folsom community member. So I have to go look for something. And then my family doctor is a Rotarian, so he said, "Hey, I'm going to Rotary Club," and I said, "What is Rotary Club?" Because Rotary is one of those things that service organization, but they don't, in my opinion, promote themselves very well. So not many people know about it. So I went there, and it's all about community, right? So a Rotarian for me is about service. But I'll be very honest with you, service was not the main thing, but doing service with the people you like is the most interesting thing, right? So the fellowship aspect of the Rotary Club was that attracted me, because I can go and clean the trails, volunteer service with a bunch of people that I don't know, But if I want to do the same thing with people that I can enjoy the company with, that seemed more like what I wanted to do. So for me, the Rotarian was the fellowship with service. So those are two things that attracted me to the Rotary Club of Folsom.
And I know you have a list of questions, but I have a quick question to jump in. A lot of people in our generation, especially folks who are a little younger than us in their early 20s, people who, started finished their high schools when the pandemic was starting and never really got to build a community for themselves in a new environment, or struggling to find community and fellowship. And I'm wondering, has that translated to, more young folks joining now, or should it, and why? How would it?
Yeah. So actually, I would answer that from two angles. One is the opportunity is there, but at the same time, the challenge is also there for Rotary International Organization. So let me talk about the opportunity first, which is there are interact clubs within high schools, right? The Rotary Club sponsor. For example, we sponsor the Interact Club in Folsom High School and Vista Del Lago High School, right? So, and then Folsom High School, I know for a fact that is the largest service club within Folsom, right?
Wow.
So that's where the people participate, the students can participate. And then they have something called a Rotaract Club for people, for students in colleges. So there is a way for them to graduate from Interact Club to Rotaract Club, and then afterwards come into a Rotary Club. So the opportunity is there. And the challenge for Rotary International is that, for lack of better words, most of the members, serving members, are the ones, it's not the young people, but the older people, right? And who could give a lot, but at the same time, so the organizations wants to attract more young people, but the Interact and the Rotaract give an opportunity for the organization to attract more people.
Right.
So the pathway is there. So, but for whatever reason that is there, but it is not happening as quickly as the organization would like to have.
Okay. So you talk about this idea of partnering with the community. What are some of the partners that you're most proud to have worked with in your time?
Yeah. So actually, I have to give a lot of credit to Justin, because I've been living in the community for quite some time, but he is the Mr. Community, right? He's been the volunteer of the year, for Folsom, right? So he's the Mr. Community Services, all about that. So he gave me, as a past president, a platform to build on community service, right? So every community service, this guy takes lead in all that stuff, right? For example, some of the organizations that we are very proud to work with is the Powerhouse Ministries in Folsom, right? So they work with people at risk, right? So wanting to have a second chance, in life, whether it's drugs or alcohol or whatever that is, right? So they work with those people heavily, and then we work with them raising funds for them, and then doing projects for them. That's one, and the second one is a Twin Lakes Food Bank, right? So where, as we know, a lot of people depend on food banks for their food, and either give money or doing projects for them. And the special thing about our club that Justin already mentioned is that we just don't want to give money. We want to actually work on projects. For example, when we work on Twin Lakes Food Bank, they needed a fence, a privacy fence, when people are standing in food in line. So there's a privacy requirement of finance, which is good. So we built a fence for them, but we provided the supplies, but we actually provided the labor as well. So those are the kinds of things our club likes to do, as opposed to just giving the money, right? So those are some of the organizations, like there's a Heart, we raise funds for Heart, the homeless and assistance team in Folsom. So those are the kinds of organizations that our club really likes to work with.
If I could interject just for a second, I think one of the things that's made Ramesh's year really special this year is our partnership with the other Rotary clubs in Folsom. That's something that wasn't there necessarily in my year, although we tried. We did some activities with them. Ramesh has really taken our partnership with the other Rotary clubs to a whole new level. So I'd love to hear a little bit more about, Ramesh, how you did that and why it mattered to you to partner with our other Rotarians in Folsom.
Actually, that's a really, really good question. So there are 3 clubs in Folsom, as I mentioned, and then these clubs are based on the time when they meet. So there's a morning club, Historic Club of Folsom. They meet for breakfast, like 7:30-ish kind of time. And there's a noon club, which is a Rotary Club of Folsom Lake, that meets at noon. And then we are the dinner club, right?
Oh, cool.
So we are known as the fun club because we have a full bar, we have sit-down dinner. And
I need
all
to
that
start
good stuff.
going to these things. This is starting to sound like a good time.
Yeah, so that's one good thing. But in terms of answering Justin's question, is that the co-presidents of the morning club, Chuck and Connie Thompson, they were members of the dinner club in the past. Okay, so we know them, and they're the most giving people that I have known, and they're personal friends of mine. So that really worked to my advantage, Justin, is that I have known them, right? So the trust is already built, okay? And then the second one is Lisa Farrow Parks, the president of the Noon Club. So Rotary does this amazing job of what they call, president-elect training seminar, right? So before they actually take ownership of the club, so they're trained, like in San Jose, they have a 3-day meet and all that stuff, right? So they call it President-elect Leadership Seminar going forward. But that is where I met Lisa, for the first time, and we built, really good relationship with Lisa. At the end of the day, it's about service. It's not about competition. It's not about, who is better, who is not, right? So, but if we can collect, all our abilities together, we can do a better job. That's number one. Number two, and we have in this hierarchy, there is they have something called a district, right? It's a Rotary district.
Right.
There are 36 clubs in the Rotary, in our district, 5180. And they have an assistant district governor, Ryan Jansen, who actually is in our club.
Okay.
So he oversees about 4 clubs, like 3 Folsom clubs and 1 Eldorado Hills. And he's an amazing guy who facilitated the connections. So that, I think, really worked out very well, where Ryan facilitated, working with other clubs. And then secondly, I myself was coming in new, so I thought collaboration would be a better way to do better service. And so those are the 2 reasons, instead of competing, so maybe collaborate is the best. And that worked out. And then the theme of the district this year was also better together. So that was the theme. So we really took upon the theme and built upon it. And Justin's observation is very right. And we are seen as the 3 clubs, working together. Almost all the projects we did them together.
Well, it certainly sounds like you've learned a lot over your course of your presidency. And as you're on the back end of it now, thinking ahead, is there any advice that you would like to impart to the incoming president?
That is a fantastic question. Actually, it's a really good question. So, truth be told, and I was very hesitant to take this job. Okay, and in 2019, I was asked for the very first time, to be the president, and I kept saying no. Right, and now come to 2023, because they nominate and elect the presidents for next 2 years, a couple of years in advance. So the pressure became very intense, right? So in our club, the bylaws say that the past presidents are the ones who can nominate the future presidents. So every past president, every week, they would come and say, Ramesh, we want you to be the president and this and that. I kept saying no, but it came to a point where I said, the pressure is too much. It's maybe better to just say it, right? So, okay, I'll do it and be done with 1 year. So I set very low expectations. I said, I'll do it, but I'll not do a very good job of it. But I just want to be done because I'm tired of saying no. So in September 2023, like I said, yeah, we'll do it, right? So, but the PETS, the training seminar, really helped me learn a lot about what is possible, what can be done, but also the other thing is the timing has to be right. And so we have 2 daughters, and by this time my older one graduated from college, The younger one graduated from high school. So we became empty nesters, right? So the timing was perfect. And I spoke to my wife, and then I said, the pressure is too much for me. It's building up, so we got to, so maybe we'll do it. So, and she's all in. And by the way, Justin is my, very good friend and personal friend outside of Rotary as well. I mean, I met him at Rotary, but it's one of my best friends. And so he also encouraged me to do this. So coming out of it, what I have learned from this is this, right? My personality is that I get along with people. That's one of my strengths, right? So I try to build on my strengths. So if there is something that I can tell people is, look at what you're good at and build on your strengths. For example, community service, I'm not really good at it, right? But energy, enthusiasm to doing the stuff, I'm good at it, right? So I brought energy and enthusiasm, but the club members, our club is such a giving club, things happen automatically, right? So you just have to provide the impetus, and then at least half the projects are already there. My best advice to any of the people is that work on your strengths, what you're good at, and then try to complement the things that you're not good at, with other things. And the second thing is, I made it try to make it fun for the club, right? So which is that's one of my strengths as well. The sense of humor, doing things in a fun way has always helped me. And then I brought that. And the third thing I could say is that I come from a culture, I'm the first Indian American or whatever Indian guy who became the president of the club. So I tried to bring my culture into the club, but in a very, not like shoving down the throats. It's more like we did like a Valentine's Day party as a Bollywood meets Hollywood, right? So
would you say that was your favorite event this year?
That's one of the favorite events, right? So we got instructors to come and train the members to dance both Bollywood and Hollywood. They perform on the stage.
Oh, wow.
Right? So it's like within 30 minutes, they train everybody. So all these people who never experienced Bollywood, so they do it, right? So, but people liked it. And then we have this thing called Club Assembly, where the board of directors come and say, hey, what they're going to do for the rest of the year. And that's our least attended meeting. Like nobody wants to attend, like it's another meeting. So we wanted to see how we can make it fun. So we said Bollywood Club Assembly, where we do like a henna, which is a tattoo, Indian way of henna, right? And then we had my daughter's friends come and sing. So, and that became the most attended club assembly ever in the history of our club. So I just brought those elements of it. Obviously, people are not exposed to it, so they really lapped up on all those things, right? So those are the things. So brought a little bit of a culture and fun into what's already happening, which is a good thing in the club. So those are the few things.
I know we're short on time, but Justin, did you guys just not believe him when he insisted he was not going to do a good job? And we're like, yeah, he'll do a good job.
Yeah, pretty much. We knew he was going to do a great job.
We're like, we don't believe you. So get in there.
This guy, he definitely puts us all in. And I think he said to me a couple times throughout the year, like, you lied to me about how much time this takes.
I did.
But it doesn't mean that he didn't put in the time, right?
Yeah.
This guy put in the time to make sure that the club members and the community was getting the most out of his presidency. Yeah. So I definitely have to commend him for that.
So I guess, Ramesh, as maybe our closing thoughts for today, what are you going to do with all this free time now?
Yeah, that's exactly. I'm thinking about it. But one thing that I do want to focus on is the technology. Right, so I'm a tech guy, in sense, not a tech guy, but I focus on artificial intelligence and all that area. But I think we could bring technology to make our club a better, place. Right. So one of the thoughts that I had in the past was doing this conference where one of the things that's happening in our society, not just Rotary, is that the technology is outpacing the people's ability to learn. Right? Most of us, people talk about AI and all this stuff. but 90% of the people are scared or don't know, what it is, and we can't even share the photos that we have taken on the phone with other members,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
So we are struggling with that piece, and then people are talking about AI and this and that. So I would like to focus my efforts going forward, starting with the club level, bridge the technology gap where, people could use the technology and improve the productivity, and hopefully parlay that into the broader society with some kind of a conference where, we can use technology productively in our abilities, right? So hopefully Rotary can contribute. That's one of the thoughts that I have.
Well, I know we certainly would love to hear more about that, and you're welcome to come back on if you ever want to talk about realizing that conference.
Yeah. Yeah, I think we've had this conversation before, where both in societal functions and in governmental functions, there is a technological gap. There is a lack of foresight and forward-looking,
Right.
Community-based and government-based thinking, and we've been talking about this for a while, and I think we would love to have another conversation at some point,
Definitely.
and dig deeper into that.
Well, thank you both so much for
Yeah.
coming on today. We really appreciated learning about Rotary and hope that you continue to enjoy improving our community.
Yeah. Thank you
very
both so much.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming.
All right. Thank you, everyone.
Okay.
Thank
Thanks.
you. Bye.